Hey VC, back with a new vinyl finds video. I think this is number 5. Um, I really appreciate if you're still watching and you're still with me. That's really great. I've got some cool things to show here that I picked up during the week. I had the fortunate opportunity on the weekend to go and dig in a few stores that I haven't been to in quite a while. One of them was the Plug 7, which is usually a pop-up store that used to happen along the strip of shops. You know, he'd find a space to rent in Collingwood and Fitzroy along the strip of shops that they call Smith Street. But it seems that he's finally got a permanent location there, and he's set up shop, and it's fantastic. It's just wall-to-wall jazz, funk, and well, a bit of everything really, but he specialises in a lot of jazz, funk, and a lot of Latin music as well. I think he travels over to the States quite regularly and brings back hordes of cool stuff. A really nice guy too, in the Plug 7 store. So if you're in Melbourne, you ever get a chance, head on down to Smith Street and check that store out. It's wonderful. Another store I don't often visit, and yet it's a bit of an institution here in Melbourne, is called Gravel Records. I haven't been in quite a while. There's probably a few reasons why I haven't, but anyway, it just so happened I was parked. I was parked out the front of the store, so I couldn't not go in. I mean, that would be crazy. So I just sort of ducked in and pulled out a couple of things anyway. So some cool Melbourne stores I haven't been to in a while, and pulled out a few cool things, which I'll show right now. Sort of a mixed bag of stuff, like I usually show. I mean, I'm into all sorts of music, so when I see stuff that interests me, I grab it, and I'm not really that fussed on genre, or more interested in sort of, expanding my collection, having a bit of everything in there. So without further ado, I'll show you the stack that I pulled out of Plug 7 this weekend. I'll start with this one here, which has been on my want list for a while. It's the Willie Collin and Ruben Blades Siembra record, and what a mighty, I mean, I'm sure you guys know this record already, but what a mighty party record this is. It's jazz funk with a Latin, well, it's Latin music. It's Latin funky soul music on the Fania label, which I'm sure you're familiar with. But this just is a smoking hot record. It's just so much fun, It was a lovely weather on the weekend, and we put this on and danced around the house. It was just so cool to finally have my own copy. As you can see, it's got they've actually glued an outer sleeve to the record, so I can't actually take that off, which I don't mind. I mean, it's okay. I put my my other sleeves on top of it, and it works fine. I mean, these kind of records, they got really beat up as they were party records back in the day, and people would have mistreated them at the parties and stuff. And so it's nice to see a copy that has a good amount of colour, and really no ring wear at all. So pretty stoked to have this one anyway. The second one that I picked up from there, which was also on my want list and has been for a while, is this one. Now it's not the kind of band I usually sort of go for, but this record here just is a really special album. It's called Then Play On, and it's by Fleetwood Mac, and from 1969. So it's sort of before Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham days, and it's just a sensational bluesy rock psychedelic cruisy album. I'll play a little slice of it in the intro, I think, today. This is just a gorgeous record. it's mellow, it's cruisy, it's really intricate, it's really just cool. I love it, and I'm glad to finally find a US copy of this on Reprise. Um, yeah, it's a nice score. One that blew my mind that was actually in the crates rather than being on the wall. This is one. This is one of those records that just never comes up in Australia, really. Well, in Melbourne that I've seen ever, and it is a second press of this record here, Manuel Gotching's E2 E4. It's on Racket Records, which was the 87 press. And this album came out in '84, so it's the second pressing of this. But very happy to have it. Sounds great. It's just one of those sort of Berlin School progressive electronic records. You know, it's, as Fred and I were discussing today, it's sort of like proto-techno in many ways. Yeah, fantastic album. So glad to score this. I mean, it wasn't cheap. I did pay for it, but when you see these things in the crates, you can't leave it there. You just gotta bite the bullet. But yeah, pretty stoked. Finally, from Plug 7, I pulled this one out. Now, it was one I hadn't really seen before. It's a modern record from this year, from 2015, and I got the fella to just put it on the turntable for me, and it just sounded so great. I had to just pick it up. The Polyversal Souls, and the album's called Invisible Joy, from 2015. It's on it's on 2 records. It's a one album sort of thing, but they've stretched it over onto 2 records to enhance the sound, I guess you could say. But this is another project from the Whitefield brothers. I'm trying to think of the name of some of their other projects. Here's the label here, Philophon. Just wonderful stuff. Sort of Afrobeat, funk, deep rootsy funk from Africa meets sort of a dub reggae with a little, with elements of hip hop in there, but it's done by German guys. But it's done really well. It's not the kind of thing that sort of they've taken a genre and tried to mimic it. These guys have sourced the original sounds and material and players, and it's just wonderful. Really knockout record. Go check this out. Look it up. Polyversal Souls, fantastic stuff. When I went into Greville Street, I dived straight into the 45s. I collect 45 Aussie post-punk 45 singles, and just the picture sleeve ones because I find them fascinating. I think I mentioned in my Melbourne video, most Melbourne bands in the 80s and late 70s, punk bands and underground bands put out singles rather than albums, just to get started, and and they didn't have money and stuff like that. So I'm fascinated with that kind of scene and thing, and I come across a box of really cool little singles, so I grabbed the ones that I didn't have in my little collection here, and so I'll start off with. I should mention also that I collect everything on the All Go-Go label. I know it's a little bit silly. I'm not really a completist when it comes to music, but that's just one little glitch that I have, is that All Go-Go records, I just have this, I don't know what you call it, affinity to that label anyway. So from start to finish, I'll show these little babies. The Zimmerman, Ordinary Man. This was 1985 single from the Zimmerman, a Melbourne sort of post-punk new wave-ish sort of rock band. Very cool. Uh, this one here, the Moodists. I've talked about the Moodists before. I think, really, really influential band here, led by Dave Graney. This one's from '82. It's also on All Go Go Records. I'll show you the label of All Go Go Records. It's pretty sweet. Whoop. There you go. Very cool. But I love these little guys. They excite me. I don't know what it is. 515. The band is the name of the band. Don't Think Twice is the name of the track. This single here, and also Melbourne band, more rock band this time. Three-piece trio, sort of a power pop sort of thing. Very cool. Another All Go Go pick. And finally, Harem Scarum Figurehead, which was from '85. Now this is a really interesting one. I hadn't ever seen this before. This came on a sort of a no label thing, even though it is an All Go Go release, as you can see down here. And basically what this was a promo thing that only got pressed and they gave out at one particular gig back in '85. So, I can't believe there's a copy floating around still of this one. And I was just so stoked to grab it. It just captures, a night of sort of pub rock in Melbourne. It's all handmade sort of thing. This is just flimsy paper, really. You can see the guys just put this together themselves and pressed. I don't know how many, maybe 100, maybe not even that, maybe 50 or something. I'm not really sure. But yeah, really stoked to have this one because it's a part of Melbourne history and it's caught on a little cute little package like this. I don't know. I know I'm a bit nuts, aren't I? And finally from there, which caught my interest, was this one here, Whirlwind Heat and the Mint Chicks. This is a split collaboration release, and it's from the Whirlwind Heat are an American band who came over to New Zealand and did a tour in 2003, and they released this to sort of, I imagine, just to help fund the tour, and they put this out to sell on the road, which a lot of bands do, and I really sort of dig that. I really respect that. This is on Flying Nun Records. But yeah, this just looked really cool. I mean, and it was so cheap. I couldn't leave it there. It's on a cool little sort of blue vinyl there as well. But yeah, nice pickups there. So I didn't spend too much, but I picked up some really cool. And the thing about 7 inches is that, like I don't want to get into sort of collecting 7 inches from all around the world. I mean, I'm not necessarily buying them for the song, because I would still go out and purchase the record, the LP. But these are little sort of usually little sort of snippets of history. They're usually done by the bands themselves and just pressed to small numbers, and they're just, I don't know, just little curios of history. I don't know. Anyway, I like them. I've got a stack, and maybe I'll do a video on them one time if people show interest in that sort of thing. I know it's mainly sort of LPs that we're showing, but 7 inches are pretty cool if they're significant, I think. Anyway, moving along, I'll show these two because these came in the mail, and these are very exciting to me. These have been on my want list for quite some time, and I haven't really had the money or had the impetus to sort of splurge on, I mean, record collectors are very rarely rich people. We spend our money on records, and I read a great quote once that said, people that don't have wealth buy clothes and art, and I sort of put music in there in my mind as well. That's sort of what we do, isn't it? We just surround ourselves with culture. And anyway, these are two records that I think are, I mean, well, they're just knockout anyway, to me. They might not excite others, but this one here I've wanted for many years and just have never splurged, but I just decided to do it. Ashra Temple's Schwingangen, I think you say it. I'm not German, I'm Australian. Now this is a first press on all records. I'll show this lovely thing here. Yeah, first pressing, and I'm absolutely stoked to have something like this in my collection. I don't have many super valuable pieces. Not that, I mean, that it never interests me at all, actually. I don't really care what things are worth. I buy them for the music, but you learn pretty fast what things are worth when you're buying them online a lot, and this one this one cost me a bit more than usual, that's all I'm saying. But yeah, lovely album, so great, so happy to have that. And the other one that came with it was Michael Nora Vanessa on ECM, which is also one that I've wanted for quite some time, just eluded me. Both, you know, sort of, I couldn't find a nice copy, and also didn't have the money to spend on one as well. So yeah, very happy to have this. I mean, you know this record already, right? I mean, I don't need to talk about it a lot. Sort of, you know, Michael Nora is from Lithuania, I believe. Another great Lithuanian artist. But there's the lineup there. Eberhard Weber is also playing on here, the bass. Wolfgang Schluter, Joe Ney, Klaus Thunemann. Yeah, very cool stuff. Thanks so much for watching. Yeah, look after yourselves and each other, and I'll be back with another installment pretty soon. Cheers. Thank you.